Hi, welcome to a brand new video of the Targeted Individual Experience, Target Individual Programming. Just leaving the house. Kids are home today. It's a holiday. You'll see the zombie perp standing in the middle of the sidewalk with his hands behind his back. One of his hands anyway, doing the palm fixation drill, turned towards me. Like I said, whenever they can't use the fire truck, they will send these criminal stalkers, to engage in that sort of behavior. Right? Okay. Now, what color do you see them wearing? Black. I always talk about black. I should, this week, I got on red, but I think from I gotta start wearing my black t-shirts because I ordered some black t-shirts also, just so whenever they engage in that, just neutralize what it is that they're doing. All right, just neutralize what it is that they're doing and how they do it. But anyhow, went into the kitchen. My sister was there, sees me, she turns around, look out the window. Like I said, these people, they have a false sense of power, a false sense of them winning. They're not winning any damn thing. All right, look, new vehicle, LPP 2329. See that? They will always engage in that sort of behavior and finding people with license plates who have been trained to target me. Stick with the number 32. I'll talk about that. That's the psychological branding. Just as the Nazi branded the European Jews with a number, identification number, as TIs, we are branded psychologically with a number. Right? So for example, my brother's number is 33, mine is 32, Alda is 23. Right? So I have not spoken to other TIs about that number, Brandon, but I'm sure it is being done to them as well. Right? Also, I did a couple of videos yesterday explaining what it is that they're doing. Actually, early this morning, what it is they're doing within the home of using family members, niece, my sister, nephews, grandnephews, grandnephews, to engage in targeting. And then, after they done what they did, now it comes the extreme form of targeting. And when I say extreme form of targeting, I mean extreme form of targeting. A black t-shirt, you'll see the theme. Putting our hands behind our head. All right? So, what I mean by the extreme form of targeting, usually when they do that, it is always followed by an extreme form of surveillance. For example, after they did what they did, about an hour later, they engage in heavy form of remote monitoring. Even this morning, I went to use the bathroom. This morning to, take a doodle. Yeah, I know. But I gotta expose what it is that they're doing, right? JFS 3207. And so I talk about that there are times when they surveil me so heavily in terms of using technology to see me inside the home, and also seeing through my body. All right, so for example, I'm on the toilet, and every time I drop a load, they use their car horn, or at times they use their sirens, right? But the scariest part is that at one point, when I drop a load, your butthole clenches, and they use their sirens. The car horn. Use the car horn, and they've done it before. Where every single load I drop in that toilet, they will use sirens or car horn. It goes with the theme of being dropped from the program, or dropping, or you drop the ball, and so forth and so forth. I say you drop the ball here, the car horn, very, very low though, right? And so how did I drop the ball? Because it's the game that they play, right? The psychological manipulation to affect your mind, your nervous system is being attacked, right? So that they can try to control you. And this is all part of the cognitive warfare, neurocognitive warfare, coercive persuasion programming, right? To cover up the, I should say, Zoom, to cover up the fact that they've been engaging in non-consensual human experimentation for the past, however long, because the non-consensual human experimentation never ended. Right? They just say that it ended, but they shifted and went dark, meaning that it is not documented, and if it is documented by outside party outside of the United States government. LZZ 3290. See, all parked up on the side that I walk on, right? You sirens in the background? All right, so again, so that the United States government will not be held, and the security agencies and military will not be held responsible, is what they call plausible deniability, using outside agencies, right? Outside, such as academia, the private military-industrial complex, and so forth and so forth. As long as they get the results that they're looking for, they don't care what it is that they do to the victims of their criminal actions, right? So again, a false sense of winning, a false sense of victory, a false sense of righteousness, a false sense of superiority, right? And so they victimize people within the society, and then using psychiatric label in order to blame the victims, or to say the victims have mental illness, right? Though what it is that they do and have caused mental illness or mental harm, I should say, to the victims, all right? So this morning I posted the episode of the Darren Brown show, the episode called Game Show, and I asked AI to give me a summary of what what was the core message or the core result of the Darren Brown game show experiment. And I want to read to you. I don't know why I'm opening up my Walmart thing. And I want to read to you what it has to say. All right. So let me do this here. In your present apartment using this, Irons. Okay, so the core message of the game show episode of Darren Brown, the experiment, is that ordinary people are capable of surprising cruelty and malicious behavior when allowed to act anonymously as part of a group. This is an exploration of de-individualization, right? Or de-individual. De-individuation, those would be de-individualization, and mob mentality, proven that otherwise good, so-called moral individuals can easily slip into cruelty and malice when they are granted complete anonymity within a crowd. Okay, so again, just to give you it's not finished yet. There's still a lot more to go ahead, man. Sorry, guys. Yeah, now he wants to say something. Now he wants to say something.
Exit through the rear door. Utica Avenue, Church Avenue.
You used to drive race car? You driving a damn bus like you on the track, bro. You know what I'm saying? Almost fell down. You know, this is the shit that they do, man. This is the shit that they do. Pull into the bus stop like he damn turning the corner and on the racetrack or some shit. You know what I'm saying? But anyhow, as I was saying, what was I saying? Yeah, so the Darren Brown show, right? It shows you how, you know, when people are being given orders, whether that be a person who is in the authoritative position, like in the Stanley Milgram experiment or the Stanford prison experiment, where they'll take ordinary people, give them some sort of power or the condition of anonymity or being anonymous, that they will commit some of the most cruel, they will commit some of the most cruelty and some of the most horrible crimes ever. And you know, it holds true today. And the sad part of it is that, right, women are more likely than men to engage in the cruelty, particularly when it is against a man, right? And that has never changed, because particularly in this Western society where men are being blamed for everything, but what they don't tell you is the nature of women, right, and how women behave, particularly when particularly under certain circumstances and when given that condition of anonymity or anonymously, right? So this is what they do. So let me finish the what I was reading, so you guys can get a better and thorough understanding. All right. So, and then they will even use their own children. Right? That's the sad part about it, that they will use their own children to engage in lies, deception, and manipulation against others, particularly against men, if it served their purpose. All right, so hold on a second. Here we go. All right, so let me read the whole thing over again. All right, so the core message of the game show episode of the Darren Brown, the experiment, is that ordinary people are capable of surprisingly cruel and malicious behavior when allowed to act anonymously as part of a group. This is an exploration of de-individualization and mob mentality, proving that otherwise so-called good, moral individuals can easily slip into cruelty and malice when they are granted complete anonymity within a crowd. The show demonstrated a psychological concept known as de-individualization. Where we at here? Jeez, I was reading it and something happened to my phone. I gotta try to get back to it where I need to get back to, right? Jeez. Where was I reading? You know, I was I hate when this happens, because I'm reading something and all of a sudden you know, something happened with my phone, I go back to read it, and the text has changed. Literally, they are manipulating okay, let me do this here. All right, I mean, this is what I talk about, man. They the manipulation of here we go. All right, so Okay, so the show demonstrated a psychological concept known as de-individualization by putting the audience in masks and allowing them to make life-altering negative decision for an unsuspecting man through a faceless crowd. Brown shows how easily a charismatic leader can manipulate a mass crowd into betraying their own morals and participating in mob mentality. Falling harder, right? Key lessons from the episode: the illusion of anonymity breeds cruelty by placing the studio audience in identical masks and letting them vote on the fate of an unsuspecting person, right? First name is Chris, via a fake game show called Remote Control. The audience lost their individual sense of responsibility. This lack of accountability consistently led them to choose increasingly mean, destructive, and harmful outcomes for Chris. The danger of groupthink. The show illustrated how quickly a crowd can transform into a faceless mob as individual moral boundaries collapse. The audience began to cheer and laugh and escalate their negative choices because everyone else around them was doing the same. Real world parallel to modern malice, Darren Brown explicitly connected the audience behavior to real world dark social phenomena such as internet trolling, cyberbullying, public riots, and football hooliganism. In all these cases, a screen or a crowd hides a person's true identity, stripping away the social empathy they would normally exhibit face to face. Ultimately, the episode served as a chilling psychological warning. Human morality is highly situational, and without personal accountability, our worst instincts are easily brought to the surface. All right, and this is what I try to show. But instead of them giving a mask to hide their identity, they mask it in psychological labeling. They mask it in psychiatry, right? They always send some, like at times how they'll send some Spanish, some Hispanopean chick, and now you see the Hispanopean dude over there with the keys on his on his thing. So I got to do the same thing too. Like I always say, whatever they do to me, all right, I'm gonna do it back to them if I can. Oh, without a doubt, there ain't no you know what I'm saying? There ain't no way that I'm going to ever let them think that they're going to get away with this or believe that they're going to get away with this. It's not going to happen. Look, they could fall in his hands. Look. You say, walks up over there, fall in his hands. And like I said, anytime, motherfuckers, anytime. Right? But anyhow, as I was showing you, reading to you guys, you have to expect this within the society, particularly if you're a TI. You got to understand the mindset of these people, right? Their criminal behavior because they've been made criminals, right? So they are led to believe that we are criminals, but they themselves are engaging in a criminal act. And it is criminal. But like I said, they mask it. Though they may not wearing a mask per se, the same mask, their mindset is the same when it comes to the corrupt and sadistic mindset that has been conditioned into their psychology, right? So when people try to tell you these things don't happen, let them know that you know that these things happen. Don't let them fool you. Bob Marley said, don't let them fool you or even try to screw you. Like, never let them believe that they're going to get away with what they're getting away with. They are criminals. All right? And we can prove it. I've proven it. And we'll continue to prove it. All right? They're descendant of the dark personality traits. This is what they do within the society. sad because women become the most cruelest of all. Yeah, man.
Can I get a try? Second, please. Let me get one too. I need one too. Somebody wants so sad.
Ma'am, one second. Ma'am. Ma'am.
Next stop, Church Avenue and East 28th Street.
Look at that shit like that. Just close it on the face. Wow.